There we go. I'll say hello again because the green light now went on. Hi everyone, it's Helena and Kelly. Welcome to Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors and coaches to build a business on your terms. Now, for those of you who are used to watching, you know we encourage you to tell everybody that you know what the buzz is in your business because it really helps people feel connected to you. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the buzz in our business, and there's a load of stuff going on, isn't there?
There is a lot.
So for the coaches in the group, we've got, I'm just going to say a blanket hello to everyone, just as you kind of pop up in that way. So for the coaches in the group, you may have noticed, and if you haven't, then please join in, that we're running a competition during April called My Light Bulb Moment. And we basically want you to share your top tips and insights as a coach to help other coaches and potentially all the speakers and authors in the group as well. Kelly's already popped the little hashtag in, so if you haven't taken part yet, just hashtag MyLightBulbMoment and tell us your tip, because there's nothing like growth and there's nothing like hearing something from someone else that you go, oh, that would be really useful. For those of you who are only on the Speaker Insight page, do come and join us in the Connection Hub, which is what we call kind of the after party, or the place where the connection kind of really happens, where we can connect you to the resources and the people that you might actually need as a speaker, author or coach. Really, that's kind of the buzz in our business. Sort of. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to let Kelly continue with this lot because today's Facebook Live is likely to be one where you're going to need a pen and paper. So scrabble around for that whilst I'm talking, and I'm going to hand it over to Kelly.
So welcome everyone. So we're going to be talking about product launching today. This is an area after my own heart as a project manager for many people. Doing the whole reverse engineering and strategic planning is where I love to play and hang out. Don't worry though, I'm not going to go all techie and geeky and start doing Gantt charts and stuff on you. This is a real practical session, hand-holding you through what are you launching, what your audience is, and the steps that you need to do to make it a successful launch, which in my opinion means selling lots of what you're launching.
Yay!
So we're going to go through that in a really practical session today, but it is really important that, as Helena said, that you do grab a pen and paper, because I'm going to be talking about things I need you to write down. I'm sure, like most of the Facebook Lives that we've done, we'll convert this into some sort of PDF guide for you. Yeah. But in the meantime, we haven't done that yet.
We haven't.
So just write this down so you can get to work straight from this Facebook Live.
That was actually the conversation that we just had. It was like, we should actually probably help them a little bit and do this. So we'll do that on the fly in the Facebook Live, and then we'll actually make it proper a little bit later, which is the way that a lot of products actually get created anyway, don't they? Now, so back to the launches and actually looking at what that means. Now, to launch means to start or set in motion. So if you think about that, what are you actually starting or setting in motion? Because there is an implication that there's this piece where we are leading up to the launch, and then there's the launching piece, and then there's the piece that actually comes in after that, which is the landing all of that and making sure that it's actually working. So do tell us at the moment, what are you launching? Maybe it's a book, is it an event, is it an online course? What are you in the process of launching? Because that's really, it's going to hone your mind. We tend to think about it in terms of launching something on a quarterly basis is quite a nice rhythm to get into. And it depends on your business, because it's a business on your terms. Now, are you ready? Here come some questions. In order to actually think about some things before you launch, these would be 5 good questions to ask yourself. So, are you actually clear on the avatar, the ideal client, and their wants and needs that this launch will actually satisfy? Because really your product should be satisfying and be made in response to those wants and needs. So being clear. So 1, are you clear on your avatar or ideal client? 2, where does this product, this thing that you're launching, whether it's a physical thing or an online thing, where does it sit in your product range? At what level does it sit? Then, this is one of my favourite questions because it actually guides you in the business. do you know how many of that thing that you want to sell and within what time period? Because that's really going to impact how you launch it and what you say during the launch and where you actually go out with the launch, right?
Yeah.
So you know, sort of you could do a small launch, a beta launch, or you could do a massive, great big thing. And that's going to have an impact on how you actually approach the whole launching piece, right?
And sometimes some people don't think about the geographical location.
Agreed.
And that makes a difference, right? If you're doing a worldwide launch, then when you're doing webinars or using currencies, you've got to think, well, does that fit all the time zones? Does my platform, my merchant account sell in this currency, in this currency? So what do I put the product? That's a biggest thing is people always say, do I sell in dollars or do I sell in pounds if I'm selling worldwide? So you can open that up for debate.
Yeah.
But that is, you've got to really think about who is it, how many you want to sell, and what is the launch about?
Because that's going to have an impact on your time, on your resources and so on. And again, we always talk about the business on your terms. So it is going to have an impact. So that was question 3. Do you know how many you want to sell and within what time period? Which obviously then has all these sub-questions, as you can see. You know, it's a big piece and we're going to do our best to tidy it up for you so you start doing the thinking. The 4th thing to really consider is, have you tested the product and gotten feedback or gotten testimonials for people that will be the social proof or the way in which people actually engage with it and know what's actually going on. In fact, I really want to do a shout out to Neem because, you know, sort of Neem basically did a really great survey that was a pre-product. So she's going to be launching a product, but what she's actually done is a little survey to find out what people actually need. That's a really great way of, you know, A, hitting the avatar, are you clear on your avatar, but also have you tested your product? She's almost doing a pre-test of the product in that way, which is a really great thing to do. So we were both very pleased to actually kind of see that. And then the 5th thing is really to say, are you allowing people to buy it forever from the date that you launch? Or are you actually going to kind of, you know, have open periods and then close periods, open periods and close periods, so that it's a launch and there's a period of time for which they can buy it and then you shut it down again. So that's going to make a difference to how you actually put the marketing out there, how you put the marketing together, who you reach out to actually help you in that way.
Yeah. And I think Michelle's just said that she's launching a book and she's running out of time. I'll go on to this in a minute, Michelle, because most people say to me, oh, how long does it take for me to, when should I start promoting my stuff? So you might not like my answer to that.
Yes.
But these questions are really important, guys, that Helena's just gone through, because when you want to reverse engineer your plan, your strategy, you need to know these things because they make a massive difference, right? So it's really important that you get clear on the what before you start focusing on the how.
Agreed.
And the answers, most of the stuff with all of these questions are time and things that need to be done before you even actually start telling people you've got a product to launch.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's really important to think, who's going to support you on this launch, right? Like anything, when we do running a business on your terms, it's normally about who have you got around you so you do the stuff you love.
Yeah.
But launching is quite a big thing. You're probably going to be using skills and resources that you aren't comfortable with doing or you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So I think the best place to start, and also this is going back to Helena's point of how much do you want to sell?
Yeah.
Because I want your products, this initial launch that you're doing, to at least cover and make some profit from the people and the resources that you're going to need to employ or buy to make the launch successful.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to go through a list first of all of who I think you need around you to either, and they don't need to be full-time staff, right? They can be just freelancers purely for this launch, to build your assets, to build your support, to make sure you've got things in place. But you need to make sure that your product launch will cover the costs of these people and make you profit. Okay,
Correct.
So let's go through these. These are some of the things, and you can do some of these things yourself.
Yes, you can, but there is a caveat to that. So you know, just because you can doesn't mean you should, and just because you can, is it worth you doing it, or does it have the right caliber of, you might have a capacity for, let's say, designing a book cover, but actually, would it be more worth your while to write the blurb that goes on the back of the book, which only you can do when someone else can do the book cover? So there are things in here around what do I delegate and who do I delegate it to? Because actually, you are building this business, and your time, energy, resources and skills are precious in terms of using them in the right way. It's really important that you do just the bits that you really enjoy and are great at, not necessarily good at.
Yeah.
Because you do want to put your best foot forward at all times. And I'm just going to say this, there's a whole bunch of people launching books.
I know, I just saw it. It's coming on, right?
It's like books and more books. So it's all
focus
good.
a little bit around books,
Yeah.
I know you're doing that. But it's true about the what you do. I mean, I love, geeky as I am, I love data entry, right? It's just like my meditation.
Yay!
But that's not the best use of my time if I can outsource somebody doing a £5 an hour job to put data into spreadsheets. So it's about what's the best use of your time and what do you love to do. So these are a few of the things that I think we should look at to see who supports me when I'm doing a launch. Who do I normally have around me in my bag that I can pull on to say, can you do this, can you do this?
Yeah.
So the first person is some sort of web designer or somebody that can design squeeze page opt-in pages. You probably don't need a website for your product launch, but I would highly recommend that you do squeeze pages to opt people into lead generation, and I'll talk about this in a minute. I'm going to go jargon on you to actually build your audience before you launch.
Yeah.
And you will need a sales page. Okay, you will need somewhere for them to land, for them to actually look at your video and what your offers and the benefits of the product, and then for them to be able to buy. So that can be on your website, or it could be using something like we've spoken about before, like Lead Pages or Squeeze Page Toolkit, where you can just design a one-page opt-in and do it on there. But it's good for this to be nicely designed, nicely laid out, and if that's not your thing and that's not your tech, then outsource that.
Yeah.
You're going to want graphic designers, so somebody to potentially do logos, the PDF designs if you're going to do free reports or guides for people to opt in on. Maybe you're going to run a webinar and you might want to have some really nice branded webinar slides for when you do that.
Yeah.
So just somebody, if this is not your forte, again, you could get someone on Fiverr to do this with your colours and your logos.
Easily.
But these are things that I want you to create before we even get into the marketing side of things.
Yeah.
The worst thing to do is to launch and then to go, oh my God, I haven't got this, I haven't got this design, and it's really rushed and everything's being done at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is not the state of mind to do a launch in, and it's not doing a launch on your terms.
It's not very satisfying either. It actually just feels really, really stressful. And for me, what that does is it means that the next time you want to progress your business with the next thing that you are creating and wanting to launch, you'll have a hesitation. So why wouldn't you make it easy for yourself instead, right?
So I'm just laughing at Jo Fellows. She says she does all that sort of thing, creates sales pages, opt-in pages, also sponsors. So she's somebody that you can go to.
Yeah, that's right.
She's another geek like me. So if you want someone to do it for you, Jo's your lady.
Yay.
So the next thing to think about is, and this is quite big for me, is an affiliate manager.
Yeah.
Now,
What's
what do I
one of
mean by
them?
that? I think one of the tricks to launching a product is to work with people who already have your avatar, your ideal client. So they're doing something different to you, but you share the same audience and you complement each other. Because if you can actually have some training that you do with those individual people to their database, to their groups, to their lists, it's a great way of building interest and bringing people over to you. Rather than doing Facebook ads and spending it, you already know that they've got know, like and trust with their audience so that they can bring them over to you. But again, when you're in launch mode, you're going to be there at the forefront doing all this marketing. You want somebody to manage the few partners that you've got on board to go, did you send that email today? Have you sent this Facebook status? Let me see, this person's bought, this is the amount of commission you've earned so far, and all these things.
Is the message that you're sending out to their audience actually landing? Do we need to tweak it a little bit? Did you need an extra video from me that might just do the trick?
And also an affiliate manager would be the person that would actually, once you, this is the way that I would work, if you've got the personal connection with that joint venture person, you as the launch, the brand, would contact them and say, hi, I'm doing this product, let me tell you a bit about it. Are you interested? If they say yes, then you hand it to your affiliate manager to send them the details, the dates, when the webinars are, the copy, all that stuff. you've got them on board, you've got that contract with them and said, yes, they're going to support you. Now you hand it over to the affiliate manager to do this. And I'm going to give a massive shout out to Phil Gibbs, because he's been the affiliate manager of some of the launches that I've done. He's got his own affiliate group. I will tag him after this Facebook Live for you to go to his affiliate network Facebook group, because he's a dream to work with, and he's a pro at this.
Yeah.
So affiliate manager is somebody to think about. The next person is a copywriter or a proofreader.
How much do we love them? And we've definitely got some of those in this group. Yeah.
So the reason why I want this is because it's just one of those things that as soon as I see typos and things, it just makes things look unprofessional. And sometimes when we're in it, we can't see it, right? Because we're reading, you know, when you've got those sentences where it goes, what's the how many T's or whatever in there, and you don't realise I've said the word to twice, because your subconscious is already knows or thinks it knows what the sentence says. Those types of things only a proofreader or copywriter or editor will be able to spot. So it's really good, even if you haven't gotten to write it from scratch, is to actually to get them to look over all of your sales pages, your emails, all that type of copy that's going out, just so that you look really professional.
And again, that comes back to that whole thing around, you know, you could do everything yourself, but actually there are certain things that you shouldn't do yourself, because, you know, when you're too close to something and you've just been looking at it for too long, you actually will start skipping over things because you think you know what something says. That's why you need a fresh set of eyes. So this is definitely one of those ones where we'd say, if at the very least you simply had, you might write the copy yourself, but get someone else to proof it.
Then you've got people like social media managers, or people that advise you on the social media marketing strategy, etc., etc. Michelle, I know that she's watching live. She's one of these people, so check out her Social Souls group for advice on that. But these people is that, again, you're going to have a strategy. Well, you better have a social media strategy.
You need to have one. We don't do many shoulds, but this one, this is a should.
So there's going to be posts that go out daily. There's going to be things that you need to respond to, but yes, you're the ones that respond, but the strategy and the implementation of when that lead goes up, when that testimonial video gets shared, etc., should be done without you, right? So you can focus to actually being there and responding to things and being in the moment, rather than actually doing the implementation of the blanket posts. Obviously, as I said to you before, you don't need people always. You've got your Facebook scheduler or whatever you're using, Hootsuite or Meet Edgar or whatever is your scheduling tool. But I would highly recommend you speak to somebody about a social media strategy.
Agreed.
Before you actually start your launch.
It's that overarching kind of picture of what's going to happen when, so that the right trickle of information will go out and it seems cohesive and coherent. There was just a question around Bobby's question.
So we'll get some people in the group, Bobby, to respond to you, because really a lot of copywriters work on different things. Some of them will work per word, some of them will work on a project. A lot of people will go to a different country. Like one of my copywriters is actually based in Australia because she's so much cheaper. Well, not the currency is that much different anymore. But it depends on, they all work differently. So we can get some copywriters who are in the group, Bobby, to actually send you to their site so you can see their prices. And really, I think a lot of the time, especially with your own branded products, if you can talk about it first of all, and then the copywriter can get your voice and your messaging, and then they can just make it much more coherent and to the point, etc. That speeds their work up too, rather than having to come up with things straight from scratch. If you can actually be interviewed about your product or talk about it and have that on audio, that would make their job a lot easier.
And it also allows you to trust the process so much more, because there is something about writing copy that we, in general, we get really scared about. It's like, how can I possibly outsource myself? And you're telling me to be the voice of my business, but how can I outsource that? Actually, the skill, and it's a beautiful skill that most copywriters have, is that they're sort of able to step into your shoes and into your language and get that. And by you actually providing the way in which you do it might just help them to really step into the shoes in that way.
So the next person moving on from the social media is actually, you would probably use some form of Facebook ads. If your avatar's on Facebook, then you would probably put some ad spend around, not so much the sales page of the product, but that's why the marketing and social media strategy is so important, so you know where the ads come in. And I find, I've found in the past that the people that do the social media aren't always the people that do the ads.
Yeah.
So, so say for example, we're doing a bit of a Carville family thing. So I'm working with Vincent Hayward, who's Michelle's cousin, and he does Facebook ads for some of my clients. So again, I know there's Matt Duggan, there's loads of people in here, Katie, Rockenhurst. So there's lots of people that do it in the Connection Hub. But I think having somebody again advise you on the strategy and how much to spend, you won't actually need to be spending that much on Facebook ads, but it's a great way to make those conversions from when you've got the leads in to then churn them into sales.
Exactly.
The other person to think about is the customer relationship manager, right? So if you're on a webinar and you've got maybe Zendesk as like a little help thing that's come up where people are asking questions during the webinar and after the webinar, or Zendesk is on your sales page where they're saying, oh, this looks great, how long is this course open for, or can this book be bought on blah blah blah, is it in bookstores? You're going to have somebody again that's not you that can answer those standard customer service questions. And this isn't just for the launch, guys, this is going forward. Right? People forgetting passwords, people not knowing when times of things are. You want to have somebody, and that's where sometimes my VAs will swap over and have a customer service role and a VA if they understand the product. And geekily as I am, I'll have like matrix charts if this question is asked.
I was just actually going to say, your version of that, your simplified Kelly version of that, what that looks like is actually start with the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. Actually write yourself, as part of any product launch, you must write yourself a frequently asked questions, because what you do is you preempt the questions in themselves, but that document also then becomes the thing that you can hand over to any VA or relationship, anyone supporting you really, because partly what it does is it really briefs them on the product in itself. And it allows people to answer on your behalf, so you're not again in that pressured situation of it's all on me.
So the next, obviously I'm going to promote this because this is what I do for a lot of people, this is a project manager. This is the person that basically, all these people that I'm talking about, they are the ones that are going, have you done this, have you done this, have you done this? That's where all the Gantt charts take place, when things are due by.
The seriously geeky stuff.
So, and don't worry, right, if you're small, you probably wouldn't be hiring a project manager, and that's why I would highly recommend software like Asana, Teamworks, Basecamp is my favourite, now the new version's out, because these are ones where you just pay for it and you put the information in, but it will then be reminding all these people when things are due.
And for the more visually based around you, Trello is really good too. Those ones are really wordy.
Trello's alright.
Trello's like a visual one as well.
It doesn't have enough cape. I can't colour coordinate.
I know you can't. I know.
Okay, so the other bits again are videographers and photographers, right? We need some visual assets. You want your testimonial videos done. You want nice pictures of yourself. You want product pictures potentially of stuff. So we've got lots of videographers, photographers like Amanda Clark, Jonathan Maguire, videographers as well. We've got tons of these people in the Connection Hub. I really want anybody actually, if you're one of these people.
Stealing my thunder, seriously. I get to say this bit. So if you are, so I'm actually just going to list them out because you might have gotten sort of lost within this. But here's our real shout out. In this Facebook Live, like in the commentary, if you are one of the following types of people, please pop where to find you in and shout out and go, I'm one of these. So if you're a web or a squeeze page designer, if you're a graphic webinar, slide design, PDF designer of some sort. If you're an affiliate manager, tag yourself in here. Copywriters and proofreaders, please pop yourself in here. Social media managers, strategists, implementers, pop your name in here. Facebook ad managers, tech support or CRM managers, customer relationship managers are really important in this one. So if you are one of those, come out of hiding and pop yourself in here. Project managers, not saying anything, videographers and photographers. Like seriously, tag yourself in here. Go, hello, look at me, because I can actually provide this, and put your name and which bit of those things that you can do, so that people can find you really easily within this. That would be really helpful, because actually, if we can link your role through to your name, then people can actually make the connections. And for those of you, again, who are only watching this on the Speaker Insight page, pop into the Connection Hub, because that's where you're going to find a lot more of the conversations can then start to take place. You can take the floor again now.
Okay, so let's get into the meaty bit of the product launching side of things. Actually go through like a blueprint of things that I use quite a lot when I'm setting a launch up for somebody.
Yeah.
Now, the most commonly asked question I get in product launching is, when should I start promoting my launch? Or when should I start even thinking about it, right?
And the thing about that is the answer is always unsatisfactory to Kelly, because normally they come to her too late.
Yeah, like that's why I'm looking at Michelle's comment going, I've got a book launch coming up, I'm running out of time. That's normally when people start thinking about stuff.
That's it.
So my rule of thumb, and I think I said this in Lisa's post in the Connection Hub about a month ago, is 3 months, right? If you guys are under 3 months of your launch date and you haven't got a lot of the things that we've been speaking about before, those 5 questions really nailed, understanding who's going to do what in your team, then we need to get a bit of a rocket up your bum, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to cover now, and I'm going to make sure I've got some notes on my screen. I'm going to make sure that I cover everything on here, because I want to go through a bit of a blueprint for you. So in these 3 months, you can do it shorter, so don't get stressed out, right? But I don't like to do stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning and really stressy.
You make mistakes.
Yeah, you do.
And you can miss things that might be the difference. You know, the difference that makes the difference. You can miss the tiniest little thing. And it's just not fair on you, your body, your life, the people in your life, all of it.
So the key things I would say is activities to do within this 3-month period. The most important one is to work out who these joint venture affiliate partners would be for you. And the reason is because, God, our diary is booked up for the whole year. We know all of our events, we know when we're doing our Facebook Lives, we know all the webinars that we're doing, etc., etc. And if you say, can I do this on this day, in 2 weeks' time, I'm more than likely, my diary is normally booked out for a month in advance, at least. So to give yourself the best opportunity of having the best partners supporting your launch, this is the first thing I would do within this 3-month period. Highlight who has your avatar, who has your audience, how could you support their network by giving them value, which is teaching them something around what your product's about, and then the call to action would be for them to come and either join your group or page or buy the product, right? So first thing is, who are these joint venture people, and then tell them, I'm launching this product on this date, and what you would like them to do as being part of that affiliate relationship. A Facebook Live, a webinar, sending emails, sending social media posts, and have that in their diary, so with their PA, of when they're doing stuff, get the confirmation, and contracts, and Phil will be all over this, but contracts are really important to make sure that they've said they're going to do it, and they're going to do it, they've agreed to it.
And the bit, for me around that is that, so there are 2 things here. One, Kelly was just sort of saying, who is that person? A good question to ask yourself is, who has my avatar before me or after me? Because that's usually where you can add the value add. So your product is likely to actually work in that way. And the second piece has gone completely out of my head. Hold that thought. Talk some more and I'm going to retain it because it's gone out of my head. Hold on.
I'm just laughing at Michelle's comment.
I know.
2 weeks ago.
I know.
Okay, so the second part is probably what Michelle's doing at the moment, is creating your marketing material, right? If we can get all of this created before launch, you can be like that duck on the water, just like swimming around. You've thought of it,
I have. Kelly was kind of almost making an assumption in her language there that people would be willing to do this. Please, please, please never make an assumption that actually somebody else is going to promote your product or be part of your partnership sort of thing. There is an invitation from you to them that says, look, I have this thing. I think it would fit with your people because, And so get yourself 3 or 4 reasons why it would fit, why it suits their avatar, and why it would be appropriate. Do you have time in your schedule that actually allows that? And would you like to be part of it? Because actually, this is still a relationship that you're developing with it, you know. And sometimes it means that, you know, they might just say, yes, we're totally open and willing. Or you might actually learn that their schedule of promotion is 6 months down the line. And so you learn that and you go, okay, not this time, but actually for next time, for the products that I've got in mind, I can bear that in mind and say, hey, if I did this again in 12 months' time, would you be open? And when should I actually get in touch with you? So that it was the invitation piece.
I make the assumption, but as I say, it's that relationship. And most of the people that you have that, especially for your first launch, I would go with people that already know, like, and trust you, right?
Absolutely.
They're friends, you've worked with them before, they might even be ex-clients. And then you can actually have that nice working relationship, and then you can and Phil will say this, right, once you work with affiliate partners, you get your standard conversion ratio that then you can go to big boys that you've never heard of before and go, look, I launched this product and got this conversion ratio. Are you now interested, right? So it's a really good thing to start getting partners on board ASAP.
And never make the assumption that what an affiliate partner actually wants is money. Never make that assumption, because it could well be that there's that, you know, they want more connections, or they want to break into the market that you're in some way. There'll be a good reason that why they might want to promote it that isn't always about money.
Agreed.
Please don't make that assumption.
We'll maybe do a Facebook Live with Phil, and then we can talk about how affiliates work, but we'll put that down. So this is the bit I want your pen and paper for, right? So joint ventures.
Like they haven't been writing up until now?
No, I'm just making sure. So the first thing to do is get your joint ventures on board. Second thing is create marketing material. So these are some of the things that I want you to have in your marketing material assets, right? Lead generation content. So you've probably seen in the Connection Hub, we've been creating this from Facebook Lives. We put one out a couple of weeks ago about a directory of over 200 speaking platforms that you can speak on. We did one about a CRM matrix to compare all the different good speakers, CRM systems for speakers, authors and coaches. So these are things that people want. We know that our ideal clients are asking for these things. So we give them a resource that they give me their email address for, and in exchange I give them the guide. So think of things that you could be offering for free, that you not that they need, but what your avatar wants. What are they Googling at the moment looking for answers for? And what could you put a document together, a video together, a checklist together to get their attention? Because then you can actually use that with the people that you're doing the affiliate campaigns with. You can start putting out ads against those things, and just getting lead generation. So these people will then, you'll get their email address, and maybe you can invite them over to your group or your page or whatever else you're using as well.
Agreed.
So with that, you need to create opt-in pages, squeeze pages, landing pages, whatever you want to call them, to then download those free products, those opt-in products. This is all starting early on, because if you can get this generation of new people coming in, these fresh people, and also offering it out to your email list.
Absolutely.
Just to revive some dead contacts on your email list, saying, I've just put this out, even though they've opted in, you just say, would you want to download this? So we want to get your network buzzing, right? We don't want to launch a product to a dead, cold audience who you haven't spoken to for ages, and then you suddenly send them an email saying, hey, buy my product.
And very soon you won't be able to do that anyway, legally.
Not with GDPR. So we want to do this lead generation is a great way to revive.
Exactly.
Okay? Then when they download that report, then we want to put them on an automated email nurture series. Not something that as soon as they downloaded the report, they get an email the next day saying, buy this. That's just horrible. Most of these people won't know you, won't have a relationship with you, so you need some time, which is why you need 3 months, to build a relationship with them over email, which isn't sending one every half an hour and overwhelming their inbox. They're just unsubscribed straight away. It's that, let's have virtual cups of coffee with you throughout the next few weeks, giving you more value, giving you more insight, really thinking, oh my God, this person really knows their stuff. And then once we've done a couple of months of that, then we can say, hey, I've really hoped that I've helped you over the last couple of months with this, this and this. Normally we find that our customers are now at this stage where they've hit this problem, and I can't do that without being with you face to face, or you reading my book, or you coming on this course. That's why I think this is the next product for you. come and check it out, and you do a sales email.
Yeah.
So this email nurture campaign needs to be written. It needs to be scheduled in your CRM system. And ideally, I want you to also write a post-sale nurture campaign.
Yeah.
So once they have bought, then how do you handhold their journey,
usage of the product,
of
right?
the event, of the online course, or even when they've bought the book, what next?
Yeah.
And is there another upsell that you do afterwards,
Yeah.
right? So having all this written before you launch is really important.
And that takes time, people, which is why she's saying 3 months.
Then this is the social media post. So once you've had this strategy meeting with your marketing person, your social media person, and they've advised you what to do, there's going to be some assets you need to create, right? So you might want to change the banner image in your Facebook page or your Facebook group to promote it. There might be some memes that need to be created. There might be some short little videos that you need to create. All these things, maybe put a medley testimonial video together of all the testimonials you've got and have that as a nice call to action to buy the product. These are things that need to be created, okay, beforehand.
Yeah. And again, not necessarily by you, could be by somebody else, but briefed via the strategy.
Yeah. Then obviously in this time period we want you to write the sales page copy, which I spoke about before, and ideally you want to have a sales video that goes with the sales page copy. So that needs to be scripted, recorded, edited, etc, etc. So sales page copy and video, and then finally, as I said to you before, is about creating those testimonial videos or having reviews of people that you've done a beta launch with or a beta test with. So people have got that social proof that it's not just you saying this product works or this is the results that people have got. You've actually got other people saying, I did this and this is what the result I've got. Just a tip on that, please don't go for testimonial videos and went, oh, I love working with Helena, she's such a great person, because even though that's great and you know that fully endorses Helena, people buy on results.
That's right.
So I really want your testimonials to be really results related, and I always write the questions for my testimonial people so that I know that they're going to give me the answers that I want.
Absolutely.
And you want to say, when I did this course, I was here, and after the 2 days I actually walked away with this result, this mental attitude, this
I'm simply smiling because yesterday I actually ran my vision board workshop, right? So yesterday I ran the vision board workshop, and the lovely Gail came, and she actually chose 2 years ago, because I tend to have this, lots of people come back. So 2 years ago, she actually did her vision board. She chose a bright yellow piece of card to put everything on, and she was just and the way that the magic works is that she now lives in a house with bright yellow walls. So there's this whole piece around actually setting it up and being really, really clear about what you want to do. Just for info, she did actually choose a white piece of card yesterday. So.
Oh dear.
So anyway, I thought, you
Joe's just said, what affiliate partner tracking software do I recommend, or we recommend? Lots of them are pretty expensive. Agree, Joe. I tend to use, for most people that I work with that are doing larger affiliates, I use Infusionsoft as their CRM system because it has the affiliate platform embedded in it, and that has all the tracking in there. So that's my go-to for most people. I understand it's quite expensive. I have used Post Affiliate Pro before. That's quite good, and we'll see what else we've got. I think I'm gonna, as I say, I'll get a Facebook Live with Phil in, and we'll see what he uses because he's much up to date on that. So these are the things those are the things that I want you to actually start creating before we start launching. Now this is the bit that you're probably more interested in, because this is the bit that everyone goes to. It's like, well, what do I do?
What do I
marketing
do?
Launch bit, right? So
what can I do?
Let's go through some of these things. Once you've got all those things in place, then we can start thinking, okay, how do we reach people? What are the marketing things that we can actually do? And these are the things that I will probably say have got the most engagement, reach, interest and stuff when I've done product launches before. So one of the ones, actually you can put this in the link for me. So what you can do is run something called a thunderclap campaign. Now, Michelle, I know you've only got a couple of weeks. You could still do this if you've got a lot of affiliates that you're working with that you're you've got a good relationship with. A thunderclap campaign is a free thing. Thanks for putting that in. The link's in there. And you basically work with affiliate partners or people that you know, like and trust that have got your avatar, and you automatically get them to schedule a social media post on the day of your launch. And you write the copy, you write the call to action, and then they sign up and say, and it just goes into their account. It gets posted on the day of your launch. So this is a way of you reaching, especially if you've got people that have got tens of thousands of Twitter followers or whatever, reaching lots of people on one day. To, if you're going for the people, I know there's 4 or 5 of you launching books, if you're going for an Amazon bestseller, you want there to be all those sales on that one day, then the Thunderclap campaign is a great way of actually giving people that call to action that you'll just do on this one day, you're going to give these bonus items or whatever it might be. And that's a great way of actually having it all scheduled so the person doesn't have to remember to post it themselves, they just have to sign up to it.
You want to make it as easy for people as you possibly can, which is why pre-writing things or automating things so that all they need to do is click or push a button or, you know, do something very simple will make them agree so much more.
And something that I learned from John Walker, actually, when I worked with John and Jeff Walker, is that it's really good before you're launching something to run a survey. Now I know Gary King and Michael and Claire, they're all doing this at the moment in their business squad group. They're launching something and they've just run a survey, right? And this is really important, so you can use something as free and simple like SurveyMonkey. And you want to ask your existing audience about their wants and needs around your product. So just get their insight, not to create the product, because you should have already done this research beforehand. But if you do a survey saying, look, what's their one at the moment? The business squad one is about that keeps their business owners awake at night.
That's right.
And they found the results are that the people's marketing isn't converting. People are doing too much because they are fearful of outsourcing and they don't have a strategy or a business plan. So they found that those are the 3 things that keep business owners awake at night. By doing the survey to their group. But what they've done is they used that survey results as a way to promote, to say, hey guys, this is what we found, this is what you're experiencing, and as a result we've put on this business boot camp to basically then solve these 3 problems for you. It's like basically saying, well, you've just asked for these problems to be solved, I'm solving it for you.
That's it.
So doing a survey is a great way of actually just, you know, testing the market, but getting them involved in the launch, saying, you've asked for this, I'm helping you, here's this book.
And what happens then is when you do actually launch it, it's not the first time they've heard about it either. It's actually, you know, it's something that's familiar to them and you've already seeded that in them, haven't you?
Cool, I'm just looking
I know.
Use Typeform, it's sexier than SurveyMonkey.
It is actually, it is really sexy.
Thanks, Vince. So another thing to do, which I think is really good, is to do a webinar. Normally in the beginning of your launch, so when your product's available to buy, so either on the day of launch or if you're, as Helene said at the beginning, if you're launching for a week, then maybe that first week that you're launching. And it's a great thing to do a webinar on raising the awareness of why the problems that your product solves, but also giving some teach, right? So half an hour, probably max webinar, because that's the attention span wise.
What, like our 40 minutes at the moment?
I knew this was going to be a long one, so shush. Type yes if you're getting value from this guy.
Oh, she's having a dig at me now. They're all still here, so I think they are. So I think I'm just going to take that as an assumption that that's a yes in the first place.
So in your webinar, raise the awareness of the problem, teach something so they can demonstrate and go, oh, that was a really good takeaway. If I've got that for free, I really want to see what else I can do with these guys or this person. And at the end of that webinar, sell your product, right? Maybe you might give them a bit of a discount for giving you half an hour of their time and investing. You might say, thanks for sticking with this. I hope you've got a lot and maybe we give you a 10% discount. But a webinar is a great way to capture the email address. So you don't get Facebook Live, we don't know your email addresses, guys, all of you. But it's a great way of doing that, and you can follow up with the replay and you can follow up on that email nurture campaign that I said. But it's a way of actually demonstrating teaching. So a lot of the time when you've got a 10 or 15 minute Facebook Live with joint ventures, you can't do a real deep dive teach into something. No.
And you have actually just answered Bobby's question, which is a Facebook Live the same as a webinar? No, for that reason.
For that reason. One, you don't get the emails, Bobby. And 2, Facebook Live is normally just about that chat with somebody and that raised awareness. I mean, Our Facebook Lives are a bit different because we always do quite a deep dive teach. But
we can't help but teach. It's just who we be. So, sorry, we're just going to give you value and more value and more value.
But the benefit is what you were able to do with that content, Bobby, once you've got them as the webinar and the follow-up part of it.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got a group, a LinkedIn group, a Facebook group, a good way to like boost some momentum before you launch is to run a competition or do a challenge,
absolutely.
right? And so that people are actually posting and they're active in the group and doing stuff. This is Michelle, you can definitely get this going on for you for your next 2 weeks if you're there. And give the person the product that you're selling, launching, the prize for the person who did this this week, right? If you might do a Facebook Live challenge for 7 days.
Well, do you know what I forgot to say?
Oh, right, what?
So right at the very beginning, when I said that, because we're obviously running our competition, My Light Bulb Moment, right? So we're obviously running one of those for the coaches at the moment. And what I forgot to say was that the juicy prize is actually a space on our Connect and Create days. So that's actually a pure example of exactly what Kelly's talking about.
So, even though we're not launching anything,
no, we're just running a competition. But it's that that's the element of it that actually works.
Yeah. So think about what competition you could run, something that's related to the product.
Completely.
Right. So if you were what's Wendy who does speaker coaching and stuff,
Wendy Keir.
Visible coaching for people in our group. So she's run a Facebook Live challenge for women to do it, so that it encourages them to get in front of the camera and start doing things, right? And then she's got the course that she's selling at the end after that. Yeah. So think about what can you do a competition or a challenge on. Yeah. What's she saying?
Michelle's saying, why don't I know about the light bulb competition? Obviously, you're not in the Connection Hub as much as you could be, Michelle.
Okay.
Don't you spend your life inside that group?
Just use the hashtag, Michelle.
Hashtag My Light Bulb Moment.
And then you'll find all the people's entries and our initial launch post.
Yeah.
So, the last thing is to do Facebook Lives with your joint venture people on the week of your launching, okay? And depending on your social strategy, you want to... It's really good if you've got partners that are experts in the field that can add something to your product, so you're not competing. So if it was, say, Michelle and Vincent that we're going to do something together, then Michelle's going to be talking about social and how she is always listening to people's conversations socially, and Vince is going to be talking about funnels and Facebook ads, and they've both got something to put to the pot that is going to be a great discussion to raise awareness of what people could be doing to launch a product, right?
Agreed.
So maybe there should be a good Facebook Live for those two.
I know. I think you two could get together on that one. Let's just connect you.
So if you have a joint venture partner that you can have a discussion about one of the problems that your then product solves, your call to action at the end of that Facebook Live could be to go straight to buy that product via the person's affiliate link. Yeah. Or it could be that you might just want to get them into your group and then you sell from there onwards after you've got the marketing schedule going on in there. It depends, right? Yeah. But the reason why you want to do the Facebook Lives is to reach wider audiences. Yeah. These people, I always get a bit dubious if I see an email from somebody that's promoting somebody else's product. Yeah. I'm like, well, are they just doing it for the money or do they care? If I see a Facebook Live and I see that person's got a real relationship, that they're both really caring about their community because they're solving a problem, they can add value, then I get it. I get that I'm happy with there being a monetary exchange involved, but they're not doing it just for the money. No. So the Facebook Live is a great way to demonstrate how you've got that relationship with that joint venture partner, give some value to the client, tease them and make them want more, which is your product. Yeah. Okay.
Which is good. So Bobby's just getting his ducks in a row. He's realising that he's got a couple of components missing. Okay. Which is great. So that's exactly the point of doing this. I'm glad. I know. You missed the bit earlier because they are actually going to take your suggestion and they're on it. They're on it. So we look forward to having that hosted in some place that we can see soon.
Awesome. Yeah. So they're the points, guys, right? And I'll go through them again. I've got them on my laptop. So do a Thunderclap campaign. Yeah. Run a survey. Do a webinar. Run a competition or a challenge in your groups, and do Facebook Live with your joint venture partners.
Beautiful.
Okay, so they're the things that I would say are a must to expand reach, get engagement, get momentum, get buzz going on in your business, along with all the other standard stuff of social media strategy, emails.
Yeah.
These are things that I would like you to boost it up.
Right, so pulling all of that together, we did know this was going to be a long one. We must actually remind ourselves to tell people that before we start the next time around. Now, I know that might sound like an awful lot to many of you, and you might not have all the ducks in a row, as some people are discovering, but that's exactly why we're doing this. We will continue to support you in the Connection Hub, so do pop on over there and, you know, pop your questions in. And what we really, you know, sort of wanted to say is that, you know, this is the stuff that we do all of the time. So we handhold people through the Speaker Insight Retreat. You know, we handhold people through this whole process at the retreat. And the next one is on the 15th of June. So check out the link in the comments if you want to come, because actually sometimes doing it alongside others and with some expert guidance can be a really good way of doing it, right?
Feedbacks. I mean, Michelle's been on our retreat, right? So I'm sure you can have a chat with her in the Connection Hub. But having your email nurture campaign written and feedback, your launch funnels created, your free product, all those types of things, that's what you walk away with the event with.
You do.
It's not just about launch, but these are things about your positioning, everything you need.
Your frameworks, the whole thing.
But it's just having that time, 3 days out of your business to work on your business with experts and get that insight and feedback. Stop laughing.
No, I'm laughing with Michelle. The feedback, the retreat is gold, which is really cool. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you.
So let's give these guys some call to actions.
Yeah. Okay, so your real call to action is go back to about 15 minutes in where we've got the questions, or if Kelly's really good to you, she's going to actually put the questions in. Answer the 5 questions and we'll put some comments in there, some feedback in there, so that you can actually really crack on with it. And then define for yourself, what do I need? Which are the, you know, the metaphor here is what ducks are in a row and what ducks are out of line. And so define that and actually start to plug the gaps with potentially some of the people. Do a hashtag call out for I really need a copywriter, or I really need a photographer, right? Yeah. In that way, and allow yourself to make the best effort you can to launch this product, because hey, it is a little bit like one of your babies that you're sending out into the world, like a little duckling out there.
Yeah, get it all sorted, and just give yourself as much time as you can.
Yes.
Right? Don't procrastinate on this, and get the support around you.
Exactly.
Have it mapped out and work out. You don't have to do all of those marketing things I said. No. I'm just giving you some options and choices, and work with the ones that are best for you, that works your marketing style, and that you've got assets and stuff to do, right?
That's it. So on that note, we're going to leave you to it, and we look forward to really coming back to this post over and over the next few days, because there's a lot here for you in terms of homework, and we wish you all the best with it.
And I want to see the coaches in the group. More My Light Bulb Moment top tips for other coaches. This month we're supporting the coaches in the group. So if you're a coach and you've got some insights to share about how to run a coaching business, or your light bulb moments, please post that in the Connection Hub and you'll enter into our competition. Yeah,
and if you look for, in the little search bar on the left-hand side, you'll see some of the tips, because they're gold, actually. So hashtag My Light Bulb Moment, and you'll see all sorts of juicy things coming at you.
Yeah, that runs till the end of the month, guys, so get them in there and enjoy the sunshine. Spring is here.
And it's really good. And we're gonna be quiet now. We're going to go.
We'll see you next week.